Arcane Odyssey, the game that has been sought for many years ever since it started development back in June 7th, 2019, but it could have been much longer before. From that time that Arcane Adventures had halted updates due to a ROBLOX update completely breaking the game to the point of unplayability, fans have been longing for something to satiate the void that Arcane Adventures used to fill. But then when VTech announced World of Magic, a not fully fleshed out game, but it was a miracle to everyone, to players, and I remember being incredibly excited to play World of Magic. There was stuff being added on a fairly consistent basis. More NPCs, more UI features, expansions, animation packs, new magics, fishing, sunken armor, the notorious sunken sword, beam attacks. There was so much being added, but then came the Dark Era. This fairly long period without too much major updates to World of Magic in order for VTech to focus primarily on the development of Arcane Odyssey likely got many players bored of World of Magic, and the game's player count likely started to dwindle. But there was one single player who at first lost interest in the game completely. With the new announcement of Arcane Odyssey sparked something, and he started to practice. Who wanted to practice, master combat as it is, and create an audience for the upcoming release of Arcane Odyssey. So on August 13th, as he is known, Judah the Warrior would start his long journey of training, consistently playing World of Magic for 197 days, uploading daily, and then on the 198th day, the game finally released. With the aim he developed in his World of Magic days, Judah crushed PvP combat. And why just stop at magic? Berserkers, conjurers, savants, paladins, whatever class, name it. And he can lose fights, but he'll crush the majority of competition, and arguably is one of the best PvPers in the game. So I wanted to know more about what his motive is, how he got so good, and some other things, so I asked him an array of questions. First, I asked him, why did you start playing Arcane Odyssey / World of Magic? Judah mainly responded, stating that he played World of Magic when it first released and got bored of the game, but then 2 years later would start playing it again with the announcement of Arcane Odyssey on its way. Next, I asked, what made you start your 200-day series for World of Magic? Well, Judah responded, stating that he started uploading World of Magic content in order to build up an audience for Arcane Odyssey release, saying that he found VTech's ways of marketing the game's release quite terrible, and he started to upload, supposedly to make sure the game gains traction as it deserves when it finally releases. Then I asked, if you were to pick up a single build and only play it in Arcane Odyssey, what would you pick? Surprisingly, Judah responded, stating Savant would be his pick, since according to him, it was quite underrated and it would prove that he's the best player in the game. After that, my next question was, what would you recommend to someone who is trying to improve their PvP skills? Simply put, he recommends aim trainers and to practice the game on a fairly consistent basis, roughly 1 to 2, maybe even 3 times a day to improve your combat skill. Then one of my other major questions was, are you getting tired of PvPing in Arcane Odyssey? His simple response was that Arcane Odyssey is not actually getting boring for him, and state that World of Magic taught him the patience to wait for updates VTech works on and enjoy the game for what it is. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is Judah the Warrior, arguably one of Arcane Odyssey's most prominent figures in the PvP scene. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Also, ever since the first update, mages have seemed to be completely extinct now.